Hey guys, me again. So let's go over the extra examples from the video for lesson 10.3. So if you notice, we all know that this is a trapezoid. Now there's two ways that we can find the area of a trapezoid. We can break it down into shapes that we know, like it has a rectangle and two triangles, or we can learn another formula. I'm going to show you how to do it using breaking down of the composite into, breaking down the composite figure into shapes that we know. So if I first look at this, if you were following along with what the video was having you do, so you have a right triangle with a base of 3 and a height of 6. You then have a rectangle with a base of 7 and a height of 6, and then you also have another triangle that has a height of 6 and a base of 8. So you would have needed to find the area of each one. So the area of a triangle, you would have had to do 1/2 times base times height, and then we all knew the area of a rectangle would have been just base times height. So I can quickly do the rectangle base times height, 6 times 7. Hold on, I gotta count 36, 42. And now let's find the area of each triangle. So 1/2 times 6 times 3. 1/2 times 6 is 3. 3 times 3 would have given you an area of 9. Now I'm going to do 1/2 times 6 times 8. So 1/2 times 6 is 3 times 8, which would have given you an area of 24. Now I would simply just go ahead and add all these together. So do 42 plus 24 plus 9. So, why ain't you working? You should have gotten a grand total of 75 inches squared. Now, if you're still confused, make sure you write down your questions because we're going to set up a Zoom time if you really need help on maybe Wednesday and 100% on Thursday. All right, let's move on to the next one. Next, we had the extra example 2. It wanted you to find the area of the shaded region. Now, if you notice, 2 of them are shaded, 1 is not, and it's all triangles. So I'm going to draw my triangles. All right, so the same thing as last time, we know that this is 3 and the height is 3, but this whole piece is 6. So if I have one piece that's 3, that means I have 3 centimeters left over, but I have 2 triangles. So 3 divided by 2 would be 1.5. So both of these are going to have a base of 1.5, and they're all going to have a height of 3. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find the area of each piece. So this is going to take a little bit of math. So I'm going to do 1/2 times 3 times 1.5. So 1/2 times 3 is 1.5. So now I have to do 1.5 times 1.5. And that'll give me an area of 2.25. Sorry, I have to do math on a separate sheet. Now, I have 2 triangles that are the exact same thing. So I know that this one is also going to be 2.25. Now, this triangle in the middle is the only one that is not shaded. It's white. So I don't have to include this, which means I don't have to find the area of this one. So in order to find the area of the shaded region, which in this case we're going to assume is the blue piece, I'm going to just take the 2 blue triangles and I'm going to add them together. So I'm going to take 2.25 and add them together. Don't forget to line up your decimals. And you should have gotten a grand total of 4.5 centimeters squared. Again, don't worry if you got it wrong. Make sure you write down your questions so that we can address them in our later Zooms. All right, the last one. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Now, this question was a little bit more difficult, and that's okay. We're going to go through it piece by piece. So, I have what looks like a trapezoid, so I'm going to draw my trapezoid, but I am going to cut it, and then I have a rectangle, and then I have another triangle. So, I just took the trapezoid and I turned it sideways. So I know that it has a height of 2, so if I were to cut both of these, it'd be a height of 2 on the triangles. Now, this whole thing, because it shares a side with the rectangle, is 8. So if this part of the rectangle is 4, that means this piece is 4. Now that tells me I have 4 feet that are left over. And because I have 2 triangles, I'm going to have to divide it by 2, which means both of these would have a base of 2. So now I'm going to fill in everything else. Because I now have enough information to go ahead and find the area of each figure. So, let's start off with the trapezoid that we broke down into 2 triangles and a rectangle. So, the 2 triangles are 2 by 2. So, I'm going to do 1/2 times 2 times 2. So, 1/2 of 2 is 1 times 2, which would give me an area of 2. Now, I'm going to go to another page, and I'm going to start writing down my area. So, I had 2 triangles that were 2 and 2. Now, I'm going to address the rectangle. The rectangle, which is here, has a base of 4 and a height of 2. So I'm going to do base times height, so 4 times 2, and that's going to give me an area of 8. So I'm going to go to the next page. I'm going to write 8. All right, now I'm going to go to my big rectangle. So I have to do 8 times 3 1/2. Now, if you don't remember how to multiply with fractions, you can turn 3 1/2 into a decimal, which is also 3.5, and then you can go ahead and multiply that way. I'm going to turn it into a decimal and multiply. So when I do that, I'm going to do 8 times 3.5. You should get 28. So I'm going to go to my next page. I'm going to write 28. And now I am left with one figure. I have my triangle, so I have to do 1/2 times the base of 8 times the height of 5. So 1/2 times 8 is 4. 4 times 5 gives me an area of 20. So I go to my next page again. There we go. So I have now figured out all the areas of the different pieces because it wanted us to talk about the shaded region again, and every piece was shaded. So in order to find the area of the whole thing, I'm going to come to my next page, and all I have to do is now add everything up. I'm going to rewrite this so that everything is in the right place value. 8 and 8 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. 2, 4, 6. So you should have gotten a total of 60, don't forget your units, feet squared. So, like I said, if you're confused, it's okay. This is the first time you're seeing it, and it is a difficult concept, especially far away. So, Again, write all your questions down. Make sure that you're, watching this over and over again. Email me if you have specific questions, and we'll talk about them on Zoom. If you need anything else in the meantime, you know how to reach me. Talk to you guys later. Bye.